Senators are back on the Hill this morning, ironing out details on the GOP tax overhaul bill. New analysis shows the plan would add $1 trillion to the deficit over the next decade. Lawmakers are scrambling to find ways to satisfy the concerns of deficit hawks. Republicans can only afford to lose 2 votes to get the bill passed. An illegal immigrant from Mexico was found not guilty of killing a woman on a San Francisco pier in 2015. The shooting death of Kate Steinle fueled then-candidate Donald Trump to push for a wall on the Mexico border. Jose Garcia Zarate was convicted on an illegal gun charge, which could land him in prison for as many as 3 years. President Trump called the verdict disgraceful. Back here in Billings, by the end of today, the City Council plans to name a new administrator. The 4 candidates interviewed all day long on Thursday. First up was Ron Alice, the current Helena city manager. Alice told the council he's happy in his current role and it would be hard to leave the capital city after 18 years in management. But he said the only job in the state he'd consider or want is the city administrator job in Billings. The second interview was Kevin Smith, the current director of the Truckee-Tahoe Airport District in Nevada City, California. Smith spent his entire career in public administration, including management of a small suburb outside of Salt Lake City, Utah. Smith is married to a Skyview High School graduate, and they were married here in Billings. David Frazier interviewed on Thursday afternoon. Frazier grew up in Northeast Wyoming, but he spent over 20 years in city management in Kansas, Michigan, Colorado, and Nevada. His most recent job was as city manager in Boulder City, Nevada, a community near the Hoover Dam. And wrapping up the final interview of the day was Greg Doyon, the current Great Falls city manager. Doyon waded through some serious economic issues in Great Falls and discussed his view on dealing with funding for Billings public safety and city finances. He said it would be important to develop a good working relationship with the council. The Billings City Council will meet this morning starting at 8 at the library to make their selection. The selected individual will replace Tina Volick, who retired on September 30th. Turning now to court news, a Billings man will learn his fate come February after he was found guilty of promoting teenage girls for prostitution. The trial for 35-year-old Marlon Thomas wrapped up on Thursday. Thomas used the website Backpage.com to promote a 17-year-old girl and a 19-year-old woman. An undercover agent responded to the ad last year and began texting with the younger girl. Officers met the girl at a hotel and questioned her. She said she and her friend met Thomas at a party where he told them he could help them make some money. The convictions carry a maximum sentence of 30 years in prison. Meanwhile, in another courtroom, it was the end of an era in Yellowstone County Justice Court. After 42 years of service, Justice of the Peace Pedro Hernandez presided from the bench for the last time on Thursday. Hernandez submitted his letter of resignation back in September, saying it was time to put down his gavel and focus on his family. The hardened native was appointed to the bench in 1975 after serving in the U.S. Air Force during the Vietnam War. He also worked for the Billings Police Department. Judge Hernandez says the past decades on the bench were more than a job. It was his passion. Now we go to Helena, where medical marijuana providers from across Montana came together to weigh in on proposed new regulations for their industry. MTN's Jonathan Ambarian reports.
More than 100 people were in attendance Thursday for a public hearing on proposed rules for Montana's medical marijuana industry. Earlier this year, lawmakers passed a major overhaul of the state's marijuana program. The Department of Public Health and Human Services was tasked with creating rules to fill in the details of the changes. Many at the meeting said the proposed rules will hit smaller providers especially hard.
If you have rules that penalize small business, you're going to actually end up hurting the patients.
The rules would raise the price of medical marijuana cards, provider licenses, and other endorsements.
We cannot afford $5,000 a year for a licensing fee, another $500 to be a dispensary, another $500 to do chemical manufacturing, a 4% tax, and taxes on top of that. We will have to shut our doors.
Some raised concerns about the requirements for all marijuana and marijuana-infused products to undergo testing before being sold.
The new testing requirements are great. Their concerns are that a small provider like us, with our level of monthly revenue, we're not going to be able to pay for these tests.
Overall, many said the rules add too many new requirements for providers in too short a time.
One thing we do know from other states is trying to do everything at once creates a mess. It creates a disaster. Everything gets locked up. Things don't move.
Now, DPHHS will take all of these comments into consideration and determine whether any changes need to be made to the proposed rules. In Helena, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
And Jonathan also tells us DPHHS will continue taking public comments on the proposed rules by mail or email through December 7th. They could finalize the rules and put them into effect by next spring. In other news, troopers with the Montana Highway Patrol received some high honors. 3 officers received the Medal of Valor on Thursday afternoon. Troopers Trevor Chase and Darvin Meese received the honor for their acts of heroism during a standoff situation in Laurel. Trooper Shane Moorheim was awarded the Medal of Valor for his brave actions during a hostage situation in Joliet. The department also said an emotional goodbye to longtime trooper Joe Coughlin. Coughlin, a member of the Montana Highway Patrol for 32 years, retired last year after a cancer diagnosis. Loved by everyone he worked with, Coughlin stayed in the same role his entire career and rarely took a day off. Proof of that comes from the 2,000 hours of sick time he had remaining at the end of his career.
Yeah, my first day on the Highway Patrol was Custer, Montana, and that was my very first edition and my very first station. Never left. I loved what I did. I didn't do anything wrong. I mean, everybody seemed happy about it. I mean, there was always some things you got in trouble about, and they got in them troubles about a lot of stuff, but turned out okay.
All right, you learn as you go along. And a fun fact about his long and successful career, Coughlin estimates that he ate well over 1,000 lunches at Perkins during his 32 years on the job.